Hello and welcome everybody into some Wednesday night racing action as the Vigilante Racing League heads on home to the Kingdom of Speed here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's gonna be an electrifying race here tonight where we got 4 separate corners, 4 chances of just absolute knockout, drag out battles out there for everybody to try to pick up that almighty gigantic jug of cold milk to close out the race. We can't wait to find out what happened, so let's go ahead and get this party all started off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, have to say a huge proud thank you to the amazing sponsors here of the VRL, such as GC Cruise Travel and Mr. Greg Klein. Give them a call at 918-906-5616 or shoot them an email or a message over on the Facebooks to get your next vacation booked up and underway. And what's even better is, by using a fantastic travel agent like Mr. Greg Klein over there, he can help save you a boatload of money while reducing all your stress and worries about the whole planning part of said vacation. It's a win-win-win for everybody. So start relaxing here today and get booked up with GC Cruise Travel. As always, we also like to say a huge thank you to Blue Fox Properties, Mr. Dave Mayberry. Give him a call at 520-850-4189. If you're looking to buy or sell your house in the Tucson, Arizona area or anywhere across the country, let Dave and his 18 years of experience buying and selling homes get you into that home of your dreams, because this housing market is absolutely bananas crazy. So be sure to get some help and get a good quality realtor here today. Big thank you as well to D&D Race Graphics and the phenomenal paint schemes and splash screens that you get to see each and every single week. Go ahead and beautify your iRacing experience with a fresh new paint scheme from D&D Race Graphics here today. And of course, big thank you as well to Southbound Real Estate and Mr. Ricky Wittenberg. Give him a call at 423-444-0454, based out of the Tennessee area, but he can help you out anywhere across the country, just like Dave. So we got you covered from coast to coast. And again, it's just this housing market. It's nuts. It's crazy. So definitely between Ricky and our good buddy there, Uncle Dave, we got you all set up. So big thank you to Ricky Wittenberg and Southbound Real Estate for sponsoring here tonight as well. With that, as always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined in the booth by my partner in crime, the Brew Master in General, the one and only Mr. Alan English, joining me in the booth. It's going to be a wonderful night here tonight there, Mr. English. A very tricky track. I know we missed some crazy action at ever so infamous Pocono Raceway, but even more infamous track here tonight at Indianapolis, where we're going to get 4 corners of basically the exact same actual 4 corners, and they're all flat, and a truck that's got a little bit of downforce, but not much, and all of it going on at, 190 plus miles an hour.
Yeah, this is, an old historic track, and it's, it doesn't matter if it's 100 years old. It's still a mystery how to get around this thing to a lot of guys, and this truck does not make it easy. It's pretty hard to pass here. There's one line that you can run around here. It's not the easiest thing in the world. So it's going to get crowded out there. The truck counts are always high in this league, so can't help but be in the middle of a huge group. When it bottlenecks down and you're going into the turns, more than likely you're going to be fighting somebody for a little bit of position there. So yeah, try to outbrake your competition and get your nose in there, get your nose inside of them. That's the only chance you got at a pass here, really. So looking forward to seeing some cool racing here in Indy.
And that indeed we will have, as down there on pit road, keeping an eye on the monitor for all the fights and all the mayhem between the Discord and pit road. So one and only specialist of the anger management mastery, the one and only Mr. Adam Turner on pit road. Adam, welcome back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Gonna be a interesting night here indeed. From what we've heard from between Pocono, the practice race here on Monday, tempers were starting to get a little heated out there.
That's perfect, and I'll be really paying attention tonight if that's the case. I think this track is whack, to be honest with you, with NASCAR product. It's whack, man. I mean, this is meant for Indy cars, open wheel. But it does create a little bit of drama. Out of one, I think, with people slowing down into one and coming out of one, which is a true one. It's a one, then it's an actual 2, 3, 4. You see some issues. You see some issues in 4. I think we're going to see some issues there. And then getting down into pit road, that can be a problem too. It's a very narrow pit road. Look, English said it was 100 years old. I think it's like as old as the United States. I think the Pilgrims were racing here in their buggies and stuff. That's how old this thing is. It's not my favorite track, but I'm here for it, man. These vigilante people, guys and gals especially, Lori, our favorite race control expert, they always do a good job. So they're gonna have fun tonight. Maybe somebody will get mad and threaten somebody across state lines. I don't know. That's just my hope. Let me give you the rules now, Brown. 0 fast repairs this season. We've established that. 70% fuel, 5 sets of tires, 17 incident points penalty. 6 incident points. You'll just start accruing more penalties. Track's fairly warm at 97. It's nothing they can't handle, but it's going to wear those tires out.
And that indeed it will be, as we take a look here at tonight's race information, and a beautiful night to be racing indeed. Just a little bit of some scattering of some clouds, but otherwise a beautiful sunshiny day for these drivers. It's going to be absolutely something that you're going to have to pay attention and watch for. Bringing us down to tonight's key to the race. It's pretty simple. Just got to be a smooth operator out there, as a very flat, not a whole lot of banking to help you in all 4 of these corners, and I got a feeling that's probably where you're going to see most of the issues, is coming off of the corners. People maybe going out a little wide, maybe the back end stepping out on some of these drivers.
Tire wear. I mean, these guys are going to be watching it here all night. Some of the guys that finish near the top here are going to be the guys that are able to pace themselves and really ration that rubber throughout the race, and really try to do the best they can to save as much traction as they can until later on in the race.
Yeah, we're going to have to save, but the best thing is we have quite a few viewers already in comments. They're getting ready to rumble like we're gonna rumble. This is awesome. I love seeing people get involved early because it brings our energy up too. You know, we've been in races where there's 5 people watching, and it feels like we're talking to ourselves. So we're happy to have everybody out there, and we're getting ready for this wonderful fight here in Indianapolis.
Yeah, that indeed we are, and just like that, qualifying has finished on up, which means we can send it on down and figure out who's going to be starting where as we tell everybody where their favorite driver is starting here tonight. As up on pole position will be the 7 of Mr. Timothy Pope, 81 Jonathan Osborne. Chachi having a great starting spot up there right beside him in second. The 89 of Mr. Craig Goodenough having a good enough qualifying time up there, starting in third. 74 Zachary Hallinan finding some speed here tonight as well, starting up there to the outside of the 89 in fourth. 33 of Jess Vaught able to start up towards the front here tonight inside that top 5. He's going to have the 83 of Mr. Jason Gaines right there beside him, starting in 6th. The 75 of Stoney Benfield having a great starting spot there in 7th, with the 6 of Trevor Robertson starting to his outside in 8th. 9th will go to the 11 of Mr. Joseph Canellis, and right next to him and rounding out your field starting top 10, the 92 of Mr. Greg Klein.
69 machine of Milk Larry Dickerson starts in 11th place. Outside of him in row number 6, David Fight in the 1. The 8 of Dylan Bryant starts in 13th place. 14th will be Mike Adamson in the 88. The 19 of Jack the Ripper Dixon starts in 15th. 16th will be Austin Paul in the 3. The 68 of Dustin Wade starts 17th place. 18th place, Mike Everidge in the 82. Rounding out your top 20 and making up row number 10, the 10 of Andrew Coffin and the 085 of Greg Docks.
All right, Sean McConnell in the 23, 21st, 22nd, George Rincon. And that 28, 16 of Kyle Vaught starts 23rd, starting 24th. Dustin with the Y, Dustin Eden, he's starting back there. We don't normally see that in the 14 truck. 43, John Curtis, 25th. 47 of John McAdam. Sounds like a presidential candidate. I like that, John McAdam. We just put him in there. He'll be better than what we got going on right now. 26, 27, 434 Kevin Hunt. Hope he has a good run tonight. Right behind him, 99 of America's Driver. Albert Anderson, 28th, 29th, John Gallagher in the 123. The 29, Dave Mayberry in 30th. 31st, Benjamin Richards in the 56th. Russ Kilgore is in the 2, is 32nd. 77, Jacob Young, 33. 34, Darby Merritt. I get confused with that name. It's confusing. Marioth, 42. He starts 34th. 35th, Chandler Paul. 023, Scott Roney, 36th. 37th, Ricky Wittenberg in the 55. And Deion Jones, 38, in that number 4 machine. And there's Lori Vaught out there. She's ready to control everything. Get these guys lined out, because apparently Monday night they had a little practice run. It was a little messy. So let's not do that tonight, guys.
As the field makes its way on down the long back straightaway behind the pace truck, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, enjoying this a wonderful time out here with us. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you're alerted every single time that we go live, and also get alerts for if maybe we have some issues when trying to get the party started on over here. But also, if you enjoy any of the racing action, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. That way we can continue to grow this fantastic racing community.
EOL penalties for tonight's race so far. Looks like the 55 Ricky Wittenberg, 23 is Sean McDonald, and the 023 of Scott Roney, all starting in the back here tonight.
That's pace truck peels down and out of the way as they come out of turn number 4, which means we are all lined up and ready to go side by side. They all come to that 1 yard of bricks all lined up side by side as we go green flag racing for the first time here tonight. The 7 of Timothy Pope with a fantastic restart. The 89 and the 81 gonna be battling it out side by side until the 81 finds a way to tuck down beneath the 89 there and tuck into line, but it is side by side action there on back. You got some good action around the 6 of Trevor Robertson with the 11 of Joseph Canella. 69 Larry Dickerson, nowhere to go, just a boatload of traffic up there in front of him as he's going side by side with the 75 of Stoney Benfield. 19 of Jack the Ripper Dixon looking to make a couple of moves here, but it's side by side up in front of him. Kind of a little bit of a traffic jam there as we are smooth sailing out of turns 1 and 2 down that back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. Everybody looking good as butter out there as the 92 Greg Klein trying to make a big move on the 75, looking down low, trying to steal away that 9th place position before everyone starts to single file out here once again, trying to find that little bit of extra room as they complete lap number 1.
I want to thank everybody for joining us out there in the YouTube chat here so far. The chat is jumping out there here tonight. Albert Anderson's pop out there pulling for Albert, of course. Greg Dobson said, welcome back to the air. Wednesday night VRL race on AAA. Thank you very much, Greg. It's good to be here. Kyle Vaught saying, keep an eye out for Mayberry. Got a bad feeling about tonight. Lori, let's see. What else? Lori says, you might get your wish tonight, Turner, as far as the violence and stuff goes. We'll have to see. And welcome home, Brandon. Brandon just got back from the Middle East there and is at the house there with Lori. So welcome back. Thank you for your service. Appreciate you. Barbara Pinion out there pulling for Stoney Benfield, the faster pastor, as he's known. Must be a member of the clergy racing around out there. He's got a little bit of an advantage there. Hey. Jack Dixon out there saying, did you know that the word Mayberry stands for last place in French? Did not know that. Red Arnell saying, let's go team good enough, number 89. And Taylor Provax, of course. We're pulling for Jess Vaught and Kyle Vaught out there. Thank you for being here as always, Taylor.
As the action continues to wind up here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway with the Vigilante Racing League. 81, Jonathan Osborne running fastest lap of the race of 52.68 there just a moment ago. Trying to stay tucked into that draft behind the 89 and the 7. That's something these drivers were going to have to watch out for is making these passes. You got to try to get free and clear of the truck behind you there. Otherwise, they're just going to draft right back on up to you. But then, when you get to those kind of older tire limits, it's going to be very difficult to pass because then you just got a whole bunch of dirty air. So just something to keep our eyes out for here is the 434 of Kevin Hunt and the 77 of Jacob Young doing a little do-si-do action there and able to try to slowly figure things on out. 16 of Kyle Vaught has the 43 of John Curtis hot on his heels. Meanwhile, the 10 of Andrew Cawthon was in a bit of a pickle there with the 82 of Mike Everidge, but able to figure out that situation.
Very good point there, Brown. I mean, clean air is king at a track like this where you're really dependent on forward grip. As soon as you're right behind somebody and get that air taken off of your nose, that air, that's your grip. That's your downforce to hold those tires to the pavement and create that contact patch that provides you that grip. And if you're right behind somebody, that's gone. You're sliding up the track there, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. And this is such a hard track to pass. I don't know if we totally went through how hard it is to pass.
Yeah.
And there's just so many issues. It's kind of narrow. It's super hard concrete. Your tires wear quickly, and you just have to wait for somebody to mess up in front of you, really, to make a pass. Unless you want to just, turn them and learn them, which sometimes we get to see. But right now, I think we're kind of seeing that. I saw a few passes in the back there, but pretty much right now, everybody's kind of just playing it kind of close to their vest. 85 laps, we're 6 in. Might as well be a little calm right now, right?
And Adam, no fast repairs here this season in VRL. So is that going to help guys be a little bit more conservative, more careful out there, try to take care of that truck? Because you know, if you need damage repaired manually, you're going to be stuck down on pit lane forever.
I think it has to be somewhere in their back of their mind, but these guys want to race. If there's a guy that they think slower than them, they're going to try to find a way around them. Especially after multiple laps, they get frustrated. You guys are drivers, you know. We just get frustrated and just want to. We know we're better or faster at that time, and you just want to get around somebody. So there'll be some mistakes made. There's going to be some anger. We're seeing a little bit. There's a little too wide action right here with John Curtis and Eden and Team Orangutan.
Yeah, the
Eden's trying to move up, right?
Yeah, the Dustin with a Y trying to filter his way on up through the field with some good side-by-side racing. It does look like some issues for the 085, our good buddy there of Greg Dobson, having to tow to the pits here early, only a couple laps in, and has yet to rejoin the track. Looks like he's finally rejoined the session. I wonder if he had some interweb issues out there, and hopefully he's going to be able to get back out to the track here pretty soon.
Yeah, it looks like he manually disconnected, but he's back reconnected now to the race. Beverly Anderson out here representing Team Anderson. Thank you for being here as always, Beverly. And Earl Evans out there pulling for Osborne. Chachi on the pole here tonight. Currently holding down second place. Craig Goodenough in second. I'm sorry, Chachi's in third right now. Craig Goodenough in second. And Tim Pope, familiar name there, up in front in that 7 truck.
Where's Earl been? He don't have our AAA paint scheme to pump us up anymore out here. He must be working too hard or something.
You might be. I mean, you got to work harder than ever nowadays, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, what used to cost $3 10 years ago cost $30. So that's just part of the American dream. We're all living it.
And so we got
Just amazing.
Got some good side-by-side action here with the 19 of Dixon and the 88 of Adamson going side-by-side. That's also going to lead to some side-by-side here with Benfield and Fight going side-by-side there for a little bit. It's little bit of wiggly-jiggly action coming from the 19. I think he and the 88 almost made a little bit of contact. Things were getting really squeezed up there tight, but able to avoid any wall situations or anything like that was the 19, and keeping that truck pointed in the correct direction. 28 of George Rincon, he's trying to hunt down some people right now. It's like he's making a move on his teammate there in the 82 of Mr. Mike Everidge.
For the most part, guys being pretty patient with each other and being careful on these passes, and a little give and take out there, I think, on the racetrack here so far.
Yeah.
Earl said he's been working, no days off here lately, and
Yeah.
13.
He's got to eat. He's got a family to feed.
That's true. He's got pizza to eat, and
Yeah.
you got to have money for that. Derek Welch saying hello, guys. Thank you for being here, Derek, as always.
CW.
We'll see you on Sunday night. And then Lori Vaught says, Pope, talking about Tim Pope out there, VRL's GOAT. Greatest of all time, that's for sure. He's
Pretty good.
the guy is an alien, man. He's so good.
Ooh, no, he's not an alien. I don't think he's that type of thing. Don't go into aliens with me. The lizard people, you don't want to get there. He's not one of them.
Well,
He's a
isn't it
good
when
Christian man.
when you race the AI on VRL, in the hardest setting for the AI, isn't it alien? I think that's what it is.
I don't know. Maybe it
Been a
might
while.
be.
Been a while since I did an AI race, but
Tell you, John Curtis is moving up in the back here. He's made a couple good passes. He's on the tail end of Mike Everidge right now. I think he's trying to pass. He looks pretty quick for being in 22nd place.
Yeah,
He's trying to find some other stuff going on there, Brown.
Yeah, it's one of those. I think they're trying to just kind of find some comfort in their pockets here, as we're about 11 laps in. This is right when those tires are really starting to feel like they're beginning to fall off a little bit, especially if you've been racing side by side with quite a few of the other drivers out there. So it's kind of that time to be a little cautious about what you got left on those rims out there. And I think we're starting to see a little bit of that here as the 19 of Jack Dixon. Can connection issue as he just disappears from the track. I was just about to highlight how he was kind of dropping backwards through the field a little bit there, but able to hopefully get reconnected here shortly. So I guess the Canadians having a little bit of a rough time up there with their interwebs.
Yeah, his quality's down to 41 down on the connection on the entry screen there.
Well, all the practice stuff they do in Canada first, so they're probably taking their internet away because they don't have the social credit score they're supposed to have, you know. So
there it is.
Kind of a shame. Is he out?
Jack Dixon packet loss. Yep.
Yeah, I hope that communist didn't get him. So I hope he comes back. Jack's fast. He's a good driver. Love to have him here.
As 33, Jess Vaught out there making some moves up a couple spots on the day, up into third, had just overtaken the 81 of Jonathan Osborne as Timothy Pope and Craig Goodenough continue to try to drive away. Almost a 2-second gap already for Mr. Pope to hang on to that lead, and then Craig Goodenough's even got about a full second on the 33 of Vaught for right now. We'll see how this race continues to play on out here on lap number 13. Normally, you know, we can kind of guesstimate rough fuel mileage and whatnot for these drivers at the mile and a half, but this track is everything, you know, 2 miles plus, especially if they've been racing side by side out there. I got a feeling we're probably going to start seeing some pit stops within, I would say, probably the next 10 laps, but maybe even the next 5 laps, depending on how much they've got in those tanks.
Yep. Jean Poros out there saying, love the alien talk. Need some more of that, Turner. More alien
We
talk.
do? Okay.
Derek Welch saying, VRL's Alf Anderson.
Goodness, sorry to interrupt you there, buddy, but the 10 of Andrew Cawthon making some big-time moves, swimming like a fish through the traffic out there. Snuck around the 68 of Dustin with an eye, Dustin Wade, and now is going up and alongside the one of David Fight. Goodness gracious. Great driving there from the 10 machine.
Oh man, they're getting training out there on the track. They're talking to each other. John Curtis is still moving up. He's got into that little gaggle of 4 cars in front of him with Paul. Just past Paul. That's a good little group right there. For the 16 through 20 trucks.
Yeah, you got the
Nose in there down low, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
doing his best, and I mean that's kind of what you got to do. You really got to get that nose settled into that corner before the guy in front of you, and that's how you can make a lot of these passes out there, especially if you're trying to do that in turns 1 and 2. Oh, down into the grass goes Dustin with a Y, but you know he likes to dirt track it now and then is able to hang on to it out there.
He's got some grass up in his grill now, I think.
Man, they saved it though. So far, man, I'm impressed with what they're doing here. They're very patient. They're kind of running this how we thought they'd run it. A little different than Monday. There's a couple side-by-side deals happening here, Brown. I don't know if you see this. Canellis is getting passed by David Fight. Real clean pass there for 12th position.
Man, you also got the
Not bad.
123 of John Gallagher getting around. Oh, it's the 14 of Dustin with a Y getting loosey-goosey. Just manages to find a little bit of extra tarmac they got down on that back straightaway to get it all straightened on out. And then, the 82 gets kind of snug up into that outside wall a little bit, and able to keep it pointed in that correct direction. And then just around them there as well. Was that trying to figure out who it was. It might have been the 16 of Kyle Vaught getting up into the outside wall. So, yeah, these drivers definitely starting to feel a little bit of that tire wear. As here comes that 43 on the move once again, now trying to charge past the 28 of George Rincon.
John McAdam, there, the driver of the 47, apologizing. I guess he kind of went up the track and got a little close and personal there with the 82 of Everidge, causing the 82 to scrape the wall there. But No,
Pres-
no
the
severe
president, the president doesn't need to apologize. They don't now, so might as well. That's his new nickname, the president.
Who?
McAdam, John McAdam. I mean, I could see his name on the Declaration of Independence right now. I mean, come on.
What are you thinking of John Adams?
Would you just go with the program? What happened to you? Do you not know how this works? I mean, the lizard people,
my brain, man.
me nicknaming everybody something. I mean, this is what we do here. I don't know.
Not my
Are you
first
new?
day. No, it's not
Are
my
you
first-
wearing a mask, or are you wearing like that rubber mask that the alien heads put on in Washington D.C.? Am I
like a
talking to
Richard
English right
Nixon
now?
man?
Yeah. Are you wearing one of those? Okay.
Yeah.
I just making sure you're not one of the operatives.
No, I'm good, man.
Okay. All right.
I'm
They're talking about pitting right now.
Yeah,
So here we go.
I was going to say, it's the 74 Zachary Howland, quite a bit off the pace there down the backstretch. The 8 of Dylan Bryant and the 69 Larry Dickerson were able to squeeze by him without too much trouble. And now coming out of turn number 4, you can see the 74 making that dive on down into pit road. Looks like the one of David Fight is going to join him. Not the most difficult of pit roads. I think the challenging part about pit road here at Indianapolis is making sure you don't overspeed a little bit too much. I think that's where we'll see most of the penalties. Shouldn't see too much craziness on the entrance, though, as we're here on lap 19 out of 85. With the 28 George Rincon still has that 43 John Curtis hot on his heels. 6 and the 88 going side by side down the backstretch.
Derek Welch out there pulling for his buddy Albert Anderson, who picked up a win the other night in the Gen 6 season opener at NTRL over there. Beat Zach Millett. That's a big accomplishment. Zach Millett is the Tim Pope of that league over there, and of several leagues. He's a great driver.
Yeah, it's good enough. Klein, Cawthon, Wade all make their way on down into pit road. And it still leaves a whole bunch of action left out there on the racetrack as the 6 and the 88 slowly start to figure out who wants to be in front of who out there. Meanwhile, the 43 and the 28 still going at it side by side. They got the 123 of John Gallagher out there right there on their heels. A beautiful patriotic paint there for the 123, all star spangled and awesome.
Lori Vaught saying, yeah, a lot of guys having connection issues out there tonight. Something going on out there with the interwebs. Andalea Tovar out here. Thank you for being here on our great race day. And Lori Vaught saying, big change from Monday night. She's relieved. I think she said had to put them single file restart Monday. I guess it got so bad, but I guess enough threats. Nobody wants to enter Lori Vaught's house of pain.
No, oh, and of course, as I had just recently said, we probably wouldn't see too much craziness down there on the entrance to pit road. Looks like the 14 to Dustin with a Y got a little squirrely out there, but able to wrangle that thing back under control.
Yeah, they got it back under control. Lots of trucks down there. Everybody looks like they're taking tires too, which is a smart idea. 5 total sets tonight. Take them when you can get them, man. Get those tires.
They should be taking 4 tires every time then, probably.
Yes, absolutely. It's a very low banking, right? It's a hard surface. It's warm. You're going to need those tires.
And maybe we see some 2-tire stops, depending on how many laps are left and how these fuel runs kind of play on out. As a 28 of George Rincon still staying out on the track with the 69 of Dickerson and the 16 of Kyle Vaught. Bryant, Adamson, Gallagher, Curtis, Austin Paul, John McAdam, Albert Anderson, Sean McDonald, and Ricky Wittenberg all making their first round of green flag pit stops.
Jacob Young, 77, black flag, speeding on the pit lane.
Oh no, and that was thankfully it looks like it was on the way. Yeah, it was on the way in, so he doesn't have to come back down and around, which would cost him even more time out there. So that's some slight good news there for the El Mustachio Man himself. So now with them open track to some of these drivers is going to help aid them pick up a little bit of extra speed. 89, Craig Goodenough, setting the fastest lap time of the race. He's got some open air there in front of him, and he's making full use of it here as the 8 of Dylan Bryant rejoins the racing surface right behind the 92 of Greg Klein. 74, Zachary Hallinan, not too far off of Jess Vaught, but he's got Jonathan Osborne hot on his heels there, just within about a half a second of each other as Dickerson, Rincon, and Vaught all come on down, and that will complete your green flag pit stops here. So just one speeding penalty, but otherwise some smooth sailing out there for these drivers as the 72, Chan the Man, putting in some good laps, gets around the 4 of Dion Jones out there.
Jacob Young, I guess his old lady hasn't threatened him and told him he's got to shave that Earnhardt-esque soup strainer off his face yet.
Why would she? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Why would she? I mean, we never know.
Maybe he did because his driver camera is not up and running here tonight.
Oh, maybe. The mystery.
Oh. What?
Poll question, did he or did he not have to shave his mustache off? Is that why his camera's down? Chandler Paul's sporting a beard still.
Oh yeah, he is. And
nice.
You can even
got the head lean going.
Yeah, he does, and you can even hear it as he's going through these corners. Those tires just want to slide out from underneath that thing. They're squealing, just screaming, saying, "Hey, we can only grip so much here, buddy." But he's doing a great job keeping that nose pointed down the racing surface. Oh, and getting a little loosey-goosey coming out of turn number 4, but a good save there for the 72 as he's making his way and going to try to climb up this leaderboard. He's up 3 spots on the day. They're in 32nd. Still plenty of time left.
His head lean reminds me of when me and my brother played Mario Kart when we were kids, you know. They had the head lean going. Didn't really help.
They had to, that Mario Kart was out when you were a kid? God almighty. You're a baby.
Yes.
Oh, okay. You're still a kid.
Yeah.
Was it the NES?
I never played that.
So my first one was the N64. I had the Mario Kart for N64.
Yeah, that's what we had. We had it on 64.
I remember Tecmo Bowl was my favorite.
Oh man, it's a 123. John Gallagher sending it in on the 2 of Russ Kilgore, the Rocket Man, out there trying to fly his way on up through this field. Also the 29 of Dave Mayberry. All 3 of those drivers, 12 spots gained, 10 spots gained, 12 spots gained on the day. So they're all up on the move just inside of that top 20, having a fantastic night. And
I guess the guy's giving Mayberry a hard time about the other night, but doing pretty well here tonight in the 29.
Maybe he actually did some practice laps or something. Oh, well, we got a car turn. Gallagher saved it. Brown, you need to relook at that. That was crazy.
That's the 123 able to get everything back up and collected. Let's see if we can't find the 120.
Bleeding positions right now.
He's lucky to be turned the right direction the way it happened.
Oh, he had made side-by-side contact there with the 29 of Mayberry. And like you said there, Turner, a fantastic save from the 123 to keep everything rolling downstream here. As we remain green flag racing, lap 26 out of 85, just after our first round of green flag pit stops. Looks like pretty much most everybody coming in, and we'll call it right around that 20 lap mark. So waiting for about lap 40, just before the halfway point to see the next round of pit stops to get underway. As the 75 Stoney Benfield having a pretty good run right now. He's got the 69 Larry Dickerson right there on his bumper, and then the 1 of David Fite going side by side right now with the 92 of Greg Klein.
Our buddy Greg Klein, we've raced with him for years. You can attest to this.
Evil human being, evil man.
He's so evil. He's such a great, one of the great drivers that knows how to save tires and, save that grip for when it really counts. And Very, very consistent driver, Greg Klein is.
Yeah, and you know what, I joke. He's evil on the track, but he's probably genuinely one of the nicest guys I've ever met. Really
Yeah,
super
sure.
dude. Met him in person, great guy.
Raced go-karts with him, too. It's
Yeah, well, we had a nice lunch in Tulsa one time. But here's the deal with Greg. Check out his website. You know, he's got GC. What is it? GC Cruise Travel.
Yeah. On
That
Facebook.
guy can put you on a cruise now, and I'm looking forward to the next time I get to go on a cruise, which would be the first time. But I'm definitely going through Greg when I do it.
He knows how to get you those deals.
Yeah, he
Somehow.
does.
Yeah.
It's the one of David Fight now losing position there into the 88 of Mike Adamson. Ooh, and some almost 3-wide racing here
Yeah.
with the 228 and the 99 all going at it.
He thought about getting in there 3-wide, Albert Anderson did, but chose to back off there. The Rod Baker Ford F-150 up by the wall there. That's Russ Kilgore. He's having a pretty decent night here so far. Up, 10 spots or so, and right there in the middle of the pack, get close to top 20.
We hadn't mentioned also newcomer Jason Gaines. He's up in the top 10. He's been in the top 10 all night.
Yes, he has. 83. Yep.
That is,
Yeah, so that's good to see him up there.
he's hanging on pretty close to that 8 and the 6 of Bryant and Robertson, and almost 2 seconds clear there of Adamson. So looking pretty secure up inside that top 10 right now. But man, all the pressure right now is on the 82 of Mike Everidge, as he's got a ton of drivers out there behind him looking hungry to try to take that spot away. One of those being the 29 of Dave Mayberry. Rincon, Anderson, Austin Paul, John Gallagher all there as well, as here comes the 29 looking on down low.
I'm pretty sure Tim Pope up there is reading the newspaper, doing the Sudoku in the back, and one hand on the wheel, and I think he's just occasionally looking up at the screen as he's 2.8 seconds ahead of Jess Vaught right now in first place still. Just makes it look effortless out there. Tim Pope, just the wheel man extraordinaire here in VRL, making it look easy out there again tonight.
And it's some more
He tends to do that.
and some more side by side there with the 82 and the 99. The 29 of Dave Mayberry was able to squeeze right on by, almost some contact with the 99 and the 82 as they remain side by side. Here comes that ever so charging 123. John Gallagher giving a big push to the America's driver, trying to get him around the 82. Oh, man.
That's a good little pack right there.
You ain't kidding. And Mr. President himself, Mr. John McAdam, getting a little loosey-goosey coming out of turn number 1, able to snap it back to attention and get back to racing here as he's involved in this gigantic just cluster of traffic around the 82.
Yeah, that awesome looking Tide machine down low there, pulling Austin Paul there with him in the 3.
Wasn't that Darrell Waltrip that ran that
Oh, big wreck!
Oh, we got a crash.
Oh, 55 of Wittenberg involved in that one as we go tumbling down the front straightaway here as we get our first caution of the evening. The 14 of Dustin with a Y having to tow to the pits. Oh, no. That one is a rough one as we go back and take a look at it.
Wittenberg got a little bit of damage on the left rear, contact with the wall, but doesn't look too severe for him.
Ooh, Everidge just looked like they squeezed him. I don't
Well,
know if he did, but
so it was side by side in front of him and behind here, and yeah, the end up going 3 wide in the 82. Oh, just I don't know if the 82 came. It looks like the 82 came down for the corner just a little bit to make sure he doesn't hit the outside wall. The problem was he wasn't too deep; he was 3 deep. And that squeezed everybody all up together, and all 3 of them hard up into that outside wall. Yeah, the 14 missing quite a few bits and pieces. 55 riding that outside wall quite a bit as we get our first yellow flag of the evening here on lap 33. Interesting to see what people do during this caution, whether or not they come on down to get that fuel and tires already.
Well, Adam, speaking of that, I mean, they got enough sets of tires. Don't you think we'll see some guys just come down, slap on 4 new ones, and top off with fuel?
I'm not sure. Maybe 2 in fuel.
Oh,
That's a good question. You have 5. They're on set number 2.
They're over.
I like the
halfway
bank
through
one.
Fuel run.
Yeah. I'd like the bank one personally. I'd always like to have one in the bank in case you had that crazy thing at the end of the race happen. Mike Everett just having a hard time getting into his box. He did. No fast repair. We'll see if he gets squared away, but I don't know. We'll just pay attention to see if they are going to use the tires here because they are coming down, guys. There's a bunch of trucks coming down.
And it looks like basically the entirety of the field making their way on down into pit road. So let's go ahead and watch this little fight of who comes on out in front of who, and see if we maybe change up that leaderboard just a little bit as they all make their way down into their pit boxes.
It's like a lot of tires are being taken, guys.
Yeah. It's like 4 tires for most everybody. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody except Jonathan Osborne, who squeaks out in front of the 7 of Timothy Pope, followed by the 33 of Jess Vaught, 89 Craig Goodenough, 6 of Trevor Robertson, Dylan Bryant, Jason Gaines, Mike Adamson, John Curtis, and Greg Klein making up your top 10 coming down and out of pit road. Had a couple other races out there, didn't quite catch their numbers, but some good pit stops down there. Some people maybe with some little extra damage getting fixed up from a love tap to the outside wall, but looking a-okay out there.
81 Chachi taking right sides only there. I went back and looked at the tape. Right sides only, Chachi. That's going to affect the balance of that truck.
Well, it helped him right now, but I see it hurting him here in probably 10 laps, maybe even sooner. So, I mean, it's a gamble. It's also middle of the race, pretty much.
He's in clean air now, though, too. You know.
He is, and he's going to also have 2. He'll have another right side set if he needs them at some point late in the race if he wants to put them on. Oh, I mean, that strategy may work for him. There's a lot of strategery going on here tonight.
Yeah.
After a couple pit stops, this is the first caution, which has been really fun racing, man. I mean, I'm telling you. They are not. So we were informed, I guess, Monday night the race was not great, their practice race. This one here's been pretty good.
Even with the little bit of 3 wide that we've seen, which I didn't think we'd see in the turns at Indianapolis, but I don't think the guys meant to do that. But 3 wide doesn't really work here.
No, and I think that's partially why we saw a caution there. I don't, again, like you said, I don't think they purposely wanted to go 3 wide there. I think it was just one of those ever-changing racing situations, and they all got kind of caught up with each other there. And but we get to see some side-by-side racing here again once we head on back to this green flag as everyone lines up behind that pace truck. Lights are off, which means it's go time here once again.
Guy's gonna get re-racked and stacked. We'll see if Chachi can hang on to this lead. He'll be the control truck on this restart. You got 7 of Pope right behind him, and then a couple of really hungry drivers in Craig Goodenough and Jess Vaught right there behind.
Yeah, this will be a fun restart. You know who's working harder than the real Mrs. Poindexter, though, right?
Who's that?
Them boys in Langley. Yahtzee.
Oh, are they? Is he going to put his foil hat on? Is that why?
Yeah, well, I think he has to remake it every day because he might reuse it to
Yeah.
hold his leftovers or something. So
That's true. He wraps his baked potato in it at night because that's what he has every day, a single baked potato, and he puts the foil on his head.
it's the
Here we go. Looks like we're going.
Yeah, it's the pace truck peels off down onto pit road. The field enters into that Geico restart zone, and away we go. Green flag racing here once again, as it is side by side with the 81 and the 7 getting a little bit better of a restart, but the 81 has the inside row. 33 of Just Vought trying to help the 81 on past the 7, but it's not gonna come enough as the 8 makes some big dive bombing moves down there to jump to the bottom of the racetrack, as the 89 now goes side by side with the 33. 33 getting a little snug, has to back out of it just a little bit to avoid contact with Good Enough as they tuck back into line side by side, as the 8 of Dylan Bryant and the 6 Trevor Robertson go side by side with the 83 of Jason Gaines and the 88 right there right behind them, going side by side down and around turns 3 and 4 they go. You got the 92 of Greg Klein, 43 of John Curtis, all bunched up together with Larry Dickerson, Albert Anderson, and Andrew Cawthon, all beating and banging their way on down the front stretch as they remain side by side. Seeing some good side by side action as well back here around the 16 of young Kyle Vaught. Got the 123 of Gallagher, 28 of George Rincon. Scott Roney out there. Same thing with Uncle Dave Mayberry right there, right behind his arch rival of the 69 or the 16, excuse me. So it should be a good fight to kind of keep tuned to as we remain the green flag here after that fantastic restart, and a whole bunch of action still unfolding as the 6 now with Trevor Robertson looks to the inside of the 33 of Just Vaught.
And he and the 8 just passed Chachi, who, as you remember, he took right sides only during this pit stop here a couple minutes ago, and he's having some trouble out there. He's bleeding some positions off.
I was gonna wonder how that tire imbalance was gonna affect the race truck out there tonight, and looks like sometimes when you gamble you win, sometimes when you gamble you lose, and he hasn't lost just yet. Osborne still's hanging around up inside that top 10, but the strategy call did not pay off in this situation.
No, he's fighting it. Looks like he's got a bit of a loose condition coming off the turn, so he's definitely fighting the imbalance that now exists underneath that truck.
And we'll talk about fighting the 11 of Joseph Canellis, fighting right behind the 75 here as they go battling side by side around turns 3 and 4. 3 of Austin Paul right there just tucked in behind them. As you can see, the gigantic snake train as people kind of move down low, make a pass, and move back up into line, trying to find spots wherever they can out here on the racetrack to get some of that fresh, clean air as they continue to battle side by side before starting to separate a little bit. There almost some side-by-side contact just behind them with the 023 of Scott Roney and the 72 of Chan the Man, as everything's still going side-by-side back here.
Albert Anderson's pop out here joining us, saying, like the new paint, son, keep on moving up. And it's like Aunt Kathy and Edith here supporting Albert as well. Or as Albert the Younger says, his aunts. That's what he calls them, his aunts.
Yeah. It's family. They're all here. They always are here for him, which is awesome.
It's awesome that they come out and support him every race, you know.
Yeah,
So
and then we're having
Beverly-
such a fun race.
Beverly, Albert, Edith, and Kathy all watching out here tonight. Albert in that cool looking 99, that red, white, and black number 99 out there tonight.
That's a City Chevrolet from kind of a throwback type of thing. Pretty cool. What's cool here, Brown, there's a golf course inside the infield and outside of the track. We need to go play that.
I know. We played it. We did find it in the PGA Tour game.
Right. I remember we did.
As the 69, Larry Dickerson trying to catch up to that 81 of Jonathan Osborne, 99 of Anderson, though, and the 83 of Gaines on his heels as still a beehive of activity around the 11 of Canellis, as Austin Paul, Stoney Benfield, and John Gallagher are all within striking distance right there, and even more side by side still playing out with the 23 of Sean McDonald and the 47 of John McAdam.
Now, is that golf course a full 18
Yes.
holes?
Yeah.
It is really?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's on the outside of the track, but there's quite a bit there on the inside. I don't know how many holes, but it looks really nice this time of year. Real green, and there's a pond. You could probably, we'll bring you along. You could throw a line out there in the pond, would catch us a bass. We'll cook it
I'll
up.
bring a cane pole, man.
Yeah.
Stop and get some
Okay.
minnows on the way to the track.
Oh no, you don't need those. You do artificial.
Well, you know why he's bringing a cane pole right there, Turner? It's because if we ever three putt, we're gonna get a caning.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Probably does want to cane us. That's true. Never mind. Don't bring that. Oh, somebody hit the wall there. Was that Albert that hit the
Oh,
wall?
looks like
That
it.
was Greg Klein, I think.
I don't know. It's the 99 of Anderson getting a little slow there as the 83 of Jason Gaines moves around. But here comes the 99 back with the attack as the 92 of Greg Klein. Yeah, he's side by side for the time being with the 69 of Dickerson. So it might have been Greg Klein kind of maybe getting shuffled out to the outside wall just a little bit there.
Guys, they did pit earlier. What was that, lap 33? Something like that. So still 10 laps away from another pit stop here. Probably see him pitting
least, but are you
around lap
gonna
53.
But that would mean you're going to need 2 more pits, I think, if we did the math right.
Yeah, I think no matter how you look at it right now, you're still going to need the 2 pit stops as we're just past the halfway. And of course, the leader at the halfway point, since we don't do stage break cautions, gets a bonus point or 2 there, and that's going to be the 7 of Timothy Pope, getting some extra points there onto his scorecard.
Tim Pope needing all the help he can get this season.
Yeah. he doesn't need the extra points, but I'm sure he'll take them.
Oh yeah, he'd take them. Oh yeah.
For sure. Really awesome driver. And fun to talk to. He's a good dude and
Absolutely.
just enjoys this league. He enjoys. You can see the passion for iRacing on these guys, man. A lot of these guys. Let's be honest. This is a simulation. You put them in a real car, they'd probably do just fine, but they can't. It's hard to afford a real car.
Absolutely.
This is the best we can do for most of us common people.
And I think Pope still does kart racing, I think.
Yeah.
I know he did for a while, and of course, Tim Pope, very spiritual man, very proud Christian dude. And Barbara Pinion out there, I'm curious about the comment that she made earlier in the race, saying, "Let's go Stoney Benfield, the faster pastor, number 75." I wonder if he's a
Ooh,
pastor.
man. Goodness. Oh, whew. Got a whole bunch of slicing and dicing going on right now with the 11 of Joseph Canellis, 3 of Austin Paul, 123 of John Gallagher, as well as the 2 of Russ Kilgore. Things kind of got slingshotted. I thought we were going to see another kind of incident like we saw there earlier with Wittenberg and Eaton, as things might have gotten thrown up towards the outside wall, but thankfully everyone able to avoid that, as the 2 of Russ Kilgore just all over the back bumper right now with the 16 of Vaught.
Sorry, my phone's going crazy here.
Is it? Well, we need more men of the cloth in here. Good to see anybody with some faith. Let's get this going, man. We got to save America, and we're going to save it by doing some iRacing. We'll start there, and then we'll
Little
work our way
fellowship
up.
out there on
Yeah.
the track and in the Discord. Adam Strom out there joining us. Howdy, fellas. Hey, Turner. I just finished golfing at the infield course. And,
Of course you did.
He has one of the beer cart gals is bringing him to pit road now, giving him a ride down there. So.
Oh man, that lucky
Adam
guy.
Strom down here in a minute, riding around with the beer cart girl.
If anybody would, it would be him. I could picture that. So we'll bring it on down.
Tall, dark, handsome man. I mean,
He's a handsome fella. He's tall.
Yeah.
He's got that Minnesota accent though.
yeah, he's 7
that
foot
throws
tall.
people off.
Well, yeah,
See,
that's
Yo, hey, like sure, hey, like, but I'm like a giant among you peasants. So give me the
true.
beer and the ladies. You know, good dude. I'm glad he's here with us.
It's the looks like the 43 John Curtis coming back out onto the track after a green flag pit stop there just outside of the cycle. So interesting strategy going on for the 43. Meanwhile, though, to his outside, had a good battle with the 68 of Dustin with an eye. Dustin Wade, Stoney Benfield out there as well, all battling just inside of that top 15 right now. Having a good showing of just good showing of activity. You got the 99 of Anderson hanging on just inside of that top 10, as the 81 and the 92 kind of on either end of his truck right now as they go down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2. 3 of Austin Paul looking to continue to make some moves out there, trying to get back up to that back bumper of the 11 of Joseph Canellis. Having a good battle there. 47 John McAdam out there still having a pretty good run. Looking down low right now on the 23 Sean McDonald trying to make a pass.
Did I hear a beer just get cracked?
a little Colorado
like it.
Kool-Aid. Yeah,
Ooh,
I,
man, I'm heading to Colorado soon. Got to get soothing out there. It soothes my soul out there.
yeah. I just drank the last of my jalapeno beer.
Ooh, that's spicy.
Switching over. It's just jalapenos and serrano peppers and honey in it. Turned out pretty good.
Does it come with a thing of Tums?
No, you don't need it. It's not burn your mouth spicy hot. It's but it does have the jalapeno flavor in it. It's not.
You really are in the beer laboratory, I tell you. Just coming up
man,
with all kinds of
we've been
mayhem.
putting in the man hours, you know.
Apparently so.
42, Darby Marriott having a good battle right now with the mustached man of Jacob Young going side by side. Both drivers a lap down right now, trying to figure out a way to get that lucky dog spot. Right now, that 42 of Marriott holds on to that position. We'll see for how long, as we're starting to see some off-cycle pit stops here. We just saw Jonathan Osborne come down and in for a full pit stop there. Now we're starting to see Dave Mayberry come on down into the pit. So playing a little bit of that strategery game here. Well, actually, no, they last pitted 33. We're here on lap 50, so it's a little soon, but not
Close.
too crazy soon.
I think they're starting to work it back from the end of the race. They're saying, well, if we do 88 laps here, they're backing it up. You know, 2 splits will put you at lap 48. So that's if we get a green-white checker, of course. Yeah, I think guys planning for the end here. And thank you so much, Barbara Pinion, for getting back with us and answering our question there. Yeah, Stoney is pastor of Prospect Baptist Church. And how do you say that? Albemarle, North Carolina. He races in several leagues, loves to give testimony for Jesus whenever he can. Somebody called him the faster pastor one day, and it stuck.
Right. It's
So
sticking here
glad
then.
So glad he's here in VRL. That's awesome.
That is cool.
So 83 Jason Gaines makes his way on down into pit road. We're closing in. We're about ready to see that gigantic mob of traffic make their way on down into pit road. Here's the 2 makes his way on around the 11. Still some good battles out there. 74 with the 47, the 55 all bunched up together. 23 Sean McDonald there as well. Everybody trying to fight and claw their way up for whatever positions they can get. About a second separates each of the drivers up inside of the top 3 Timothy Pope holding a second and a half lead over Craig Goodenough, who's got, well, he's now coming down into the pit, so that lead is starting to come on down. I thought he was coming down into the pits, but no, Jess Vaught just picking up the pace here a little bit, closes that gap down just a little bit, as he's got about a second and a half over the driver in fourth, which is the 6 of Trevor Robertson, but he has the 88 of Mike Adamson right on his back bumper, and of course, as I say that, here comes the 88 down the inside, trying to make a pass on the 6.
Comes Russ Kilgore in the Rod Baker Ford F-150. He's pitting here next lap. Turner, what do you think about this? I mean, I think I'd probably just try to stay out all the way until I had an empty tank, and then do that as much as I could, because, you know, the later you push your pit stops, then the better tires you're going to have at the end when it counts. You don't really have to pit in groups here. This isn't, you know, Daytona or Talladega. You can kind of make it out there on your own.
Yeah, I think as long as you can handle the truck and the tires that are going south quickly,
Yeah.
I would go all the way until I was out of fuel, almost out of fuel. I'd give it a lap or two cushion, because we've seen people miscalculate that as well, but I kind of agree with you. That way, at the end, or on the next cycle, you're going to be ahead of them, and it might help you at the end. I don't know. I mean, it's all kind of a guessing game, but I tend to agree with your thought process on this one.
It's Russ Kilgore and Dion Jones make their way down and out of pit road. Still a few more drivers yet to come on down. 88 of Mike Adamson makes that dive on down into pit road now. Quite a few drivers going to be joining them. David Veit, Austin Paul, George McCon, Kyle Vaught, and 7-4 Zachary Hallinan all jumping on down into pit road for another round of green flag pit stops.
So far, everybody behaving themselves for the most part. I think 77 was the only penalty we've seen so far for speeding on the pit lane. 55 mile an hour pit lane speed limit.
Man, that's probably the toughest part of pit lane here, because it's so long. I mean, it's basically the entire length of the front stretch, and the front stretch is dang near over a mile in itself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, man, 55 after, you know, doing 180, 190 miles an hour down these straightaways, man, that's going to feel super slow out there, as Pope, Goodenough, Jess Vaught, Trevor Robertson, Dickerson, Benfield, Gallagher, and McDonald make their way on down into pit road. That's going to gift the lead to the 99 of America's driver, Albert Anderson. Going to be leading at least a lap here. 68 of Dustin with an I, Dustin Wade. Going to be following him, as well as Joseph Canellis, and the 47 John McAdam yet to come on down into pit road.
Joe Canellis, driver number 11, one of our new drivers here in VRL this season, coming down the pit lane. Ricky Whitmer.
All right, lots of action.
Yep.
Lots of action down here.
Albert makes his way on down into the pits. Dylan Bryant trying to avoid some merging traffic right now, heading on down the back straightaway. Craig Goodenough out there re-merging with the racetrack. Has some traffic coming up here behind him. That's the 83 of Jason Gaines, as the 92 Greg Klein just up the road in front of them, as it looks like everybody else finishing up their final round of pit stops, and everybody getting in and out A-OK. One pit stop left remaining for these drivers here tonight. John Curtis and Russ Kilgore, after that round of pit stops, find themselves in a fight with the 10 Andrew Cawthon immediately after those stops.
Ooh.
Good little fight there. Same thing with the 83 and the 88, having a good little back and forth right now, as the 88 trying to get that nose up underneath the 83 into the corner. It looks like he will just get there in time as they go side by side down the back straightaway.
Little humble brag there from Rhett Arnell, telling us over there in the YouTube chat that the view from the top of the pagoda, which is that big building behind the pit lane there, behind the pit road, You know, the view from the top of that building, great view there at the Brickyard. Amazing view.
Oh.
You can see the whole track there.
You got
He's
to
been
be up there?
before. Yeah. How do you
Is there
get
like a
up there?
bar up there? Where do you got hot dogs? What's going on up there? I want to.
Rhett,
wanna go
how
up
do you
there.
get up there, buddy? I mean,
Yeah, what do we have to do? Do
What
we
do
have
we
to
have
be
to
a
do?
member
What
of
do we
the
have to pay
elite
off?
society, or do we can we
that's
just
what
like
it is.
know somebody and get up there and have a cold
Yeah.
beer? It
Maybe
does
we get
look
a
neat. It's
Pass
very
from. He
iconic.
knows where to get a pass from.
Yeah, got to get a pass. I'm sure it's a pretty popular place.
Not that I mind being in the booth with Brown up here, and
No, I'm just talking in real life. We need to be in the booth in real life up there.
sure,
IRL is what the kids call it.
with a cooler and
Yeah.
one of those little 10x10 Academy awnings, and
Yes,
I'm down.
and then
Little Weber
we gotta-
grill.
block out the the solar flares and stuff. I don't want that taken out the broadcast.
Well, we can use your tinfoil hat to kind of
Yeah,
place on
please
top
do.
of any equipment.
It's actually ordered off Amazon. It's approved. It definitely blocks out the rays you don't want.
And
So Rhett says he got a tour from a friend of a friend who knows somebody.
Oh,
There you go. You got to use
a
those
good
connections. Ken, what you got there, Alan Brown?
I was just gonna say the 81 Jonathan Osborne was leading after that round of green flag pit stops, but the 7 of Timothy Pope took a couple of corners, but was able to finally make his way back around and retake the lead. But the 8 of Dylan Mad Max Bryant out in front of the 33 of Just Vaught, trying to keep the 33 off of a podium spot right now as they go nose to tail down the front stretch. Still a good battle right now with the 88 of Mike Adamson on the charge and on the prowl, looking down low on the 92 of Greg Klein. Good battle there. And then you got a whole lineup of traffic here. You got the 29 of Mayberry, 10 of Cawthon, 2 of Kilgore, 1 of David Fight, 75 of Benfield, all grouped on up together. Oof, man, I said
Oh man.
they go slinging around these corners side by side. The 2 almost splitting it 3 wide. It looked like he was maybe going to try to do the old 2-for-1 crossover move and sling it underneath the 10 and the 29 on corner exit. Just didn't quite get there just in time, or didn't quite have the grip to pull off that move, but he's going to stay there on the bottom. Oh, as we got contact there between the 10 and the 2.
2 able to hang on to it, but now he's up there against Mayberry. Ooh, Russ Kilgore.
David Fight's right behind him trying to make a move.
Yeah. That got a little hairy there for a second.
Hey, you ain't kidding. And the 2 of Kilgore did a great job keeping it off the outside wall there, as well as he was starting to kind of push out the corner just a little bit as they remain side by side up there, with the 75 making his way on behind. Now the 28 of Rincon and the 3 of Austin Paul joining in on this little party.
Thank everybody for watching out there in the YouTube channel. 18, 19 viewers out there here so far. We got 3 thumbs up on the video.
We need more than that.
Yeah, if you guys like what
Yeah.
you see out there, give us a little thumbs up. If you get
3.
a chance, it helps the broadcast reach more people and helps our sponsors as well.
We've only had 1 thumbs down in our whole broadcasting career, and that was because
One.
yeah, we had 1. Brown and this one guy got into it like in a
They
real
had a
race.
feud. Yeah.
They had a feud, and the guy was like, he didn't like us, or Brown especially, and he gave us a thumbs down. What a clown! We're winning.
What a
Where's that guy
clown.
now? I don't even know. I
I
can't
don't
even remember
know.
the guy's name. But
I'm
yeah,
not
hit the
gonna say
thumbs up, subscribe, like, all that stuff. Whatever.
Mash
I mean,
all
we're
the
gonna
buttons.
Yeah, we're gonna get famous here and do all this stuff
Yeah,
for the league.
that's gonna happen.
But hit the button anyway. It helps the league.
Oh, we did get some more likes there. Thank y'all
All
very
right.
much.
We shamed them. We shamed them
We
into.
shamed them into
into-
pushing the button.
Oh, I love that.
Oh man.
That's the 33 of Just Vaught, slips on by both Bryant and Osborne, able to take over that second place spot. Dylan Bryant able to stay just out in front of the 81 of Osborne right now, but here comes that 89 of Craig Goodenough up into this fight, trying to take the spot away from Osborne and then launching himself up to the back bumper of the 8. Stony Benfield out there side by side with the 10 of Andrew Cawthon, having a good fight out there as they head on through a couple of these corners. 3 of Austin Paul side by side with the 29 of Dave Mayberry, and here comes the 123. We're going 3 wide for a split second there as the 29 escapes disaster with the 3 and the 123.
Man.
We saw what 3 wide here does earlier in the race. Thank you, Claudia Priest, for joining us. First time I think we've seen Claudia on the channel. Thank you very much for being here. What driver did you come out to see? Hopefully,
Those
hopefully they're
symbols,
doing
what
well.
are those? Hope
It's a
not anything
waving
crazy.
hand. It's a waving hand thing and a.
And a bunny rabbit? I don't know.
Well, and
I thought
peace
it
sign.
was like a peace sign, but it might be.
Oh,
a rabbit.
peace. I want peace. I want peace everywhere.
Good.
Peace and love.
Good. Well, we may not have a little bit of peace here. It's the 3 and the 29 having a good battle with the 123 of Gallagher. All having a fantastic battle out there. 16 of Kyle Vaught just at the tail end of some of this action with Zachary Hallinan kind of joining in the fray as they make their way on down into the backstretch. The 3 of Paul able to hang on to that 17th spot right now, but a whole bunch of hungry drivers sitting right there behind him as the 74 of Hallinan looks to go around the outside of the 16 of Kyle Vaught.
So the 14 and the 16 almost get into it as well. Like about a lap ago, and here comes the 14 looking to the inside of Dave Mayberry. The Blue Fox Properties machine. First one of our
hit him
awesome
up.
sponsors. Yep.
For any kind of realty need, especially on the West Coast. On the East Coast, we got Ricky Wittenberg. He does all the other stuff over there. But you can
man. Here they go.
hit either
Trading
one of them up.
paint.
Yeah. Just, not
Oh,
just Kyle.
Oh, it's serious.
Kyle
Uncle
and
Dave.
Yeah, they're getting too. They got a little hairy.
You ain't kidding. When people wonder why we always talk about the rivalry between the 16 and the 29. Well, I tell you, there's a whole bunch of communication behind the scenes that happens between the two drivers throughout the week. And when it comes to race night, man, they've got some hurt feelings for each other, and they traded a little bit of right side romancing down there.
Yeah, they're not holding anything back. Those two guys, they really like each other a lot. They're like family. The Vaughts and Dave Mayberry, but yeah, they're not going to give each other an inch out there on the racetrack. It's all business.
Yeah, it's like they're like brothers, or just fighting. I'm like the time my brother threw like a dart at me and it stuck in my leg, and then I hit him with like this hard object, and we both had to go to the emergency room. Oh, no, y'all didn't do that as kids?
Oh, that's funny. I never heard about the dart in the leg. That's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah, he got me good. Yeah, we fought it out, We don't talk anymore, but it was cool back then. No, I'm just kidding. Love my brother. It's a part of the family stuff that goes on as kids.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's the 10 of Andrew Cawthon and the 1 of David Fite go battling side by side, making their way towards the long back straightaway there. Still going to remain side by side. Looks like they're coming up on some traffic here as well. As they try to race each other down into turn number 3. Still to the inside, the 1 of Fite able to hang on. Getting a little bit up onto the... very hard to see there in some of these corners, but there's a little bit of rows of bricks that acts as a little bit of curbing. Got to be careful if you get your tires down onto that. Able to hang on to it, though, was the 1, but does lose to the 10 for that position as they continue down the front straightaway here. Having some good fights as the 89 Craig Goodenough able to filter his way eventually through the field to get back on up into that 3rd position. The Utah native trying to figure out a way to stay up onto this podium right now. Maybe try to close in on that gap. It's about 3 seconds up to Jess Vaught, and then 7.5 seconds up to Tim Pope. So he's got a whole bunch of work left for him here with 18 laps left to go. Still got that one final round of pit stops to go here as well, and I think we're starting to see them as Osborne and Anderson make their way on down into pit road.
This is where you got to be mistake free, right? This is it. This is your last pit stop.
Yeah.
Make it a good one. You know, don't speed going in or out. Hit your box. I mean, green flag pit stops, you know, any little second that you make a mistake, you're going to lose, 200 feet of track position. So,
But not only that, I mean, is your gamble the right gamble? They're coming in early.
John
They're the only
McAdam,
ones.
black flag.
Okay, well, that's an issue. But you're gambling whenever, at whatever point you decide to come in, because we really don't know how this thing's going to finish. So it's all kind of a gamble, calculated risk. And I'm sure they're talking to their teammates and think right now they're good. We'll see in about, 17 laps or so.
I just also saw the two of Russ Kilgore almost go for a bit of a ride, but able to wrangle that truck back up under control as they continue to race their way around here. 17 laps left to go. You got the 16, 2, 74, and 68 all in a line behind the 123 of John Gallagher out there. 14 of Dustin with a wide trying to get some laps back here to hopefully make his way back up towards the front. Has done a really good job getting that truck back into racing condition here and staying out on that racetrack. Unfortunately, we still do have 37 drivers racing here with us tonight. Our only disconnection thus far is that 19 of Jack Dixon, who unfortunately had some connection issues here at the beginning of the race and has not rejoined. So unfortunate night there for the Dixon racing team out there.
Andrew Cawthon, black flag as well in the 10 machine. Was that did Russ Kilgore pancake the wall there a few laps ago? Is that where all the smoke came from?
He was also kind of sideways, so could have been from that, as Adamson and Bryant and Dickerson make their way on down into pit road.
Dickerson's been quiet. We normally see him really aggressive driver. He's been very, very quiet. We'll see what happens with him at the end of this thing.
And so almost some contact there between the 68 and the 2. I thought the 68 was just going to keep going up the racetrack and slap the 2 into the outside wall, but thankfully they were able to avoid calamity there. As more and more drivers coming on down to make their final pit stops, like Vaught and Goodenough. And expecting probably full stops for most of these drivers, taking the full set of tires to make sure they can make it to the end here with a good head of steam, as Benfield, Rincon, Fight, Young Vaught, Kilgore, and McDonald all make their way on down and in.
Yeah, there's no other way. You got to have a full set of 4, in my opinion. English, I don't know what you think. I would get 4 all day.
All day long, twice on Sundays. You get 4 tires here at your last stop.
I like chicken twice on Sundays. That's always good.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I'm looking at the top 3 drivers out here that are staying out as long as they can. All 3 drivers, former and current champions, they know the importance of staying out as long as you can. Make sure you got the freshest tires at the end of the race. Of course, we're talking about Tim Pope, Trevor Robertson, and Jess Vaught. I think Jess Vaught's slowing down coming in.
Well, he's already come down and in, so
Did
he's
he already come
yeah,
down?
yeah, he's already hit that pit box. But a thing to note though for Tim Pope here, he did have that giant lead, and speaking of, he comes down into the pits now himself. But the longer these guys are staying out, they're just losing time out on this racetrack. Because I mean, normally, for the mile and a half, we're talking right around, once when you're losing about 2 seconds a lap compared to fresh tires, that's really when you want to start coming down and in. Well, here, I mean, the best time for Tim Pope was a 51. The last few laps, he's been in the 55s. So he's been really bleeding a lot of steam out there.
Yeah, the only thing that's going to kind of screw people's ideas up here would be some kind of catastrophic crash or caution during this blend-in. Look pretty clean right now. I guess Monday they just had some kind of disaster, but this has been really a good race for Indy. I hate Indy too, so I'm telling you, this has been a real fun to watch race.
That's a 33 of Vaught gets around some traffic there in the 72. He's actually, and again, this goes to show you how much time was lost here for Tim Pope while he was remaining out on the racetrack, as Jess Vaught overtakes him while the 7 machine was trying to reblend onto the racetrack. So it's just going to be a matter of, will Pope have enough tires to climb back up and pass that 33 of Jess Vaught, as Dustin with an eye, Dustin Wade, still hanging around out there. Same thing with the 74 of Zachary Hallinan. Ricky Wittenberg and Scott Roney both make their way on down into pit road here as they get their final set of pit stops underway. 12 laps left to go.
That was that track position you were talking about that the leaders were losing, running for so long out there, but still think they've got plenty of time to make that up now that they've got some fresh rubber on that truck.
Well, again, but the problem is, right, again, it's very difficult to pass here, especially, you know, when you're running fairly close to the same speed. You have to set up those passes, and that does in fact take time. As the 33 just saw that lead of about a second, tries to break the draft, and you can just see the train follow him all the way down towards the inside pit wall, then back up to the outside as they come across that start-finish line, with Timothy Pope closing in, trying to hunt down his prey here once again to try to take command over this race once when the 68 and the 74 pit for their final time.
I'm not convinced we're done with cautions, though, either. I think the aggression's going to, tick up just a little bit here in the last 10 laps, and I'm not sure we're done with cautions. And if that's the case, those fresher tires are going to mean a whole heck of a lot more on a restart.
Ooh, no.
I sure hope that's the case. Somebody gets mad. Go ahead, Brad.
Oh, looks like John McAdam disconnecting here. He entered pit lane and then jumped to the pits, took a tow, so I don't know what happened there for the 47 machine, but something happened to the now present Mr. President, is John McAdam.
Well, he's not present like the president, so very similar, kind of the same.
Dustin really joining us out there in the YouTube chat. Thank you for being here, Dustin. Saying what's up, guys? Go Jess.
Awesome.
Dustin, really the big show killer, joining us in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, where's he been?
He's got real life racing, man.
Yeah, he's got real life
racing. Oh, he's doing the real stuff. Everybody's trying to upgrade. What happened to us? Are we going to upgrade, or are we just going
to
keep the same thing going?
The
content.
33.
Yeah, me too.
33 and the 7 starting to run into some lap traffic here with the 72 of Chandler Paul. Both drivers all nose to tail, all knotted on up as the 81 and the 88 go nose to tail here in the final 10 laps left to go. Let's see who's got what left. If a late caution does come out, do you think we're going to see drivers? Because I think they have one more set of tires at their disposal. It'll be interesting to see what people do.
There it is. Caution's out.
Caution is out, and Kyle Vaught getting tangled up.
And he did a complete 360 and got right back onto it.
And it's between the 29 and the 16 to bring out the caution, as the 29 just kind of really leaning down low on the 16 and trying to make corner exit, just drifting out just a little too much there, as the 29 was doing a good job holding his line down towards the inside. 16 trying to extend out of that corner, gets turked across the front bumper of the 29.
The uncle and the nephew
man.
at it again out there.
Oh gosh, I thought they had barrels down there. Goodness gracious, that's the 16 almost kills himself against the pit wall barrier there.
His truck seems like it's running okay. I mean, he might need a little bit of repair, but for what happened, it's in pretty good shape.
Well, here
Who
we
was the guy that did the 360 here at the Indy Cars and won the race? We talked about this before.
I don't know.
In the Miller Light car.
that's you got me, buddy. I don't know.
Oh my God, Miller High Life car. Yeah, it's about 85. You know, y'all were. Well, Brown, you weren't even around.
I was learning how to ride a bicycle.
I was too. I mean, but I was still watching the Indy. Is Danny something? I don't know. Anyway, that makes it interesting, doesn't it, Brown?
You ain't kidding. What's going to be interesting here is, are we going to see some late pit stops here, maybe trying to pick up a little bit of extra fresh tires if they have that extra set? They're good on fuel, but it's a almighty question of what's better, track position or tires. And you can see people kind of cheating down low, but no takers just yet, and looks like everybody's staying on out, just willing to gamble with what they have.
So if I'm in the back half of the field, I'm going to come down. I'm going to come down and pick tires, I think.
And that's what you're seeing here, too. A couple of drivers making their way on down. Gallagher, Curtis, McDonald all hitting their pit boxes. Same thing with the 42 of Darby Marriott. As we get ready to have a very exciting finish here tonight at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The final 5 laps are going to be electric.
I did not think we were going to see a race this exciting, this good here at the Brickyard here tonight. I didn't want to say anything about it, but Brett Arnell said it was Danny Sullivan was the guy that spun at the Indy 500.
All right, so good. We have some people that are with me on that. That's a heck of a deal. He spun and won the race. Got to go back in the annals of history to remember all that.
I'm sure you can find it on YouTube.
Oh yeah, you can get the quick version on YouTube where he spins here and then he comes back and wins the thing and drinks the milk and all that stuff. But it was a My Life car, I'm pretty sure, if I remember right.
As the field gets all up and ready here, nose to tail, what are your guys' predictions here for these final few laps? Do you expect to maybe see another caution from people trying to make some last pass moves here, or you think we're going to race this thing out? Do you think one of these drivers like Craig Goodenough, Dylan Bryant, Larry Dickerson, Trevor Robertson, any of them here inside this top 10 have a chance of trying to sneak past a few drivers here at the front to maybe steal one away?
I think we're going to see some guys try. I think we got enough aggressive drivers in the top 6 or 8 here. I think we're going to see some guys attempt to make some moves. I think we might be using that one available green-white checker here tonight. That's just kind of what I'm leaning towards.
Well, I don't see that happening up front. It may happen in behind the front. Tim Pope has tires that are 2 laps better than Jess Watts, but I don't know if that kind of be, just kind of marginal issue at this point. Those 2 drivers, and then don't discount Jonathan Osborne. We're going to see those 3 or 4 really kind of go at it, but they're going to be clean. Now, what happens behind them, I'm not quite sure.
Dickerson is up there too, starting inside row number 3. We've mentioned him being pretty quiet here tonight, but he's slowly worked his way up here. I'm sorry, inside row number 4. Craig Goodenough right in front of him. Watch the 89, watch the 8, the 88, the 6. All good drivers here in the middle of the front.
Dylan Bryan, I know they're all good. Trevor Robertson, Albert Anderson. I mean, Jason Gaines, he's in the top 10. Yep. But of the aggressive people here, 69 Larry Dickerson is super aggressive. So kind of watch him, see what his idea is here, and if he doesn't have it, he doesn't have. He thinks he has the tires and the car. he's going to go for it. So
Yeah,
kind of
he'll
watch him.
The 88 as well. I'd put him kind of in that camp as well. If he thinks he can make it stick
That's
and
true.
make an aggressive move on the outside or something, Mike Adamson's going to try it.
And just some notes on some big movers and shakers. The 99 of America's driver Albert Anderson up 19 spots here tonight. 55 Ricky Wittenberg up 22, double-digit spots as well for Dave Mayberry, Scott Roney, Chandler Paul, Dion Jones up double digits. So a whole bunch of big-time movers, and Mike Adamson being one of them, as well as the pace truck peels off down onto pit road. 5 laps left to go as the field enters that Geico restart zone, and we go back to green flag racing with this 7 with a great restart on the outside. Same thing for the 33 up on the inside. They're going to remain side by side, down and running into turns 1 and 2. It takes a while to get out of turn number 1, down a little short shoot down towards turn number 2. 33 able to just get that back bumper clear of the 7 as the 7 tries to reorganize and recalibrate to make another final push and another final attack, as here comes the 88 and the 81 still going side by side. 89 Craig Goodenough there with a fantastic battle, as well as the 33 blocks down to the bottom row, preventing that 7 from getting the nose just up underneath the 33 as they round down and around turns 3 and 4 and back down the front straightaway. And it's up into the outside wall goes the 81. You can actually see a little bit of a checkup through the back of the field as everybody seeing a little bit of that smoke fly, trying to get down off of that high side. 4 laps left to go as we are racing.
Dion Jones with a black flag. I'm not sure what it was for.
It was.
Oh, it looks like they cleared it.
It was cleared. Yeah, it was cleared. It was a mistake, some kind of computer deal. But look at the class of the field. Just fought Tim Pope. They're out in front. They're going to be clean. Now, what happens behind them, guys? It's getting kind of squirrely back here, so we're going to have to pay attention.
I know it's kind of late in the race for this, but Yahtzee.
Perfect timing for that. Yes, Brown. Right in the middle of a great race here. I think the battle from 10 to 14, Brown, you may see an issue. They're kind of getting after it.
Man, you ain't kidding. You can see 2 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide, 3 wide again as they make their way on down the backstretch. Everyone digging for some positions here. 71-1, 92-3, 29-11, 55. All trying to figure out where they will end up here tonight as we go 3 wide down and around turns 1 and 2. 29 of Dave Mayberry up against that outside wall, able to finally get it back down to 2 wide here as he and the 11 and the 55 go beating and banging down the backstretch. Meanwhile, here comes that 7 of Timothy Pope. We knew it wasn't going to take long as the 7 finally set up that 33 for a pass and jumps up ahead, retaking control of the lead. 88 of Mike Adamson hanging on for that sole 3rd position right now, continuing to sneak back up to the back bumper of the 33 as they make their way down and out of the exit of turn number 4. Back down the front stretch they go. 2 laps left remaining.
Boy, if they could just hang on to it here, Jess is.
Oh, man.
Him are just. Ooh.
Yeah, some right side romance between the 11 and the 68. 29 hard up into the outside wall. That gets everybody all scattered, but they keep it together as they remain going side by side down through turns 1 and 2. A fantastic save. Oh, and there goes the 123, and that will reset the field, and that is a big one. Huge yard sale of truck parts scatter through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Dave Mayberry said he had wheel damage and he's tried. I don't know. You're going to have to replay that, but kind of what I thought it was going to happen in the back. Tim Pope, Jess Vaught were really going at it. Now, changes the game, doesn't it?
And, oh, man, just the 123 with a good move down low to try to sneak around the 29 of Mayberry. Actually makes use of a little bit of the grass to make sure he left enough room for the 29, and then just getting a little loose there. I don't know if maybe some net code contact there as well to get that 29 loose, but then he ends up just coming back down and bumping the rear quarter panel of the 123 to send him sideways across the track. And next thing you know, the 74 and the 123 are looking at each other eye to eye, and that is never a good thing. 29 gets pushed hard up into the outside fence. Oh, man, hard contact there for the 77 as well. Oh, goodness. Also, just before that, we saw the 29 of Mayberry get tied on up with the 68 and the 11. Oh, the 29 of Mayberry just got a little snug and went out towards the outside wall, hit the outside wall. I think that's where that steering damage came from. And you can actually see the 11 of Canellis get ramped up over the 68's fender well there just a little bit, getting him a little bit of air, but it was able to save it. That was the fantastic save we were talking about. And then, yeah, the 29 just with that wheel damage doing his best to hold it, and just couldn't quite do it.
Well, I hope I didn't jinx it by saying something about
You
it.
did. It was your fault. We'll put it on you. But honestly, I think it's going to be how it was going to play out anyway. Pope has those tires that are just 2 laps better. But I think 2 laps better, you're talking about 5 miles here on a rough surface. I think Tim's going to run away, and Jess is probably going to be right behind him. Mike Adamson's got a little bit less, 1 lap worse tires than Jess. So I think we're going to see Tim, Jess, and Mike finish 1, 2, 3 after the start. I mean, I could be wrong. Some stupid could happen, but that's just going off, science and stuff. I'm
Well, there's only
big
one
into
shot,
science now.
too. I mean,
Yeah, you only got 1 shot at it. Sure. But, I like to do
NASCAR,
science
where you got
stuff.
unlimited. Yeah, science. You
Yeah.
are the science, Adam.
I am.
mean,
I was told I
almost
was the
You
science.
get a master's degree now, so.
Well, I mean, and I'm going to start, coming up with diseases and then coming up with the fake vaccines for them and stuff. I mean, that's my next game. I
That's your
just want
next,
to try that.
Okay.
Yeah. And then become
There's
a
a lot of money in it.
multi-millionaire.
So I hear, yeah.
I heard that. I've seen that. And
I've heard
they
that.
still they still put that little piece on TV with his fake baseball. You know what? I hate the Washington Nationals because of that guy. Yeah, it's a fake baseball team, fake doctor, and all that. But anyway, we're here for the race, not my shenaniganry. And that's kind of how I thought the race is going to play out here. We'll see if we get some mayhem here at the
I thought
last
there'd be
lap.
more alien talk, honestly.
Well, we had a good race. There was no time for it.
That's
I
true.
mean, I saw a picture that really raised some questions tonight. I didn't want to share it with y'all. But
Just be sure that
maybe Sunday.
yeah, just be sure that picture didn't originate from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, because the Oshkosh Flight Festival is happening right now. Which
I
is
heard there was a crash there too.
I don't know if there was, but a couple of drivers like Kelly Keel and Andrew Player are both enjoying their time out in Wisconsin right now, enjoying that.
That's a cool deal. That's a cool event.
Oh, yeah,
Are they pilots or?
no, I know my sister is, and she's out there with her family enjoying it.
Oh, nice.
It's a free for all for pilots. I bet the bars are loaded down with fun people and cool action. Just my guess. All right, this
Oh,
is
guys,
for all.
what do you think here, man? We're gonna finish under green, or we're gonna get a freeze the field caution at the end here?
I think these guys are gonna. I think it's gonna stay green. It's gonna be tight. There's gonna be a whole bunch of hard-nosed racing out there, but I think they'll get it in. I think the drivers kind of know what they're in for, and the first couple races didn't quite start off that way, and I know they want to try to get these things in under green. So that's my feeling. As the 7 of Timothy Pope, 33 of Jess Vaught line up side by side. Adamson, good enough, right there behind them. Trevor Robertson, Larry Dickerson, Dylan Bryant with Jason Gaines, Albert Anderson, and Stoney Benfield making up your top 10 as the lights on the pace truck are off, which means we get ready to go Green, white, checker racing here. Just a quick reminder on the rules. We're going to race this thing on out. Once when they take that green flag, if the caution flag waves, the field is frozen, and that is it. Only one attempt here tonight. So we're trying to get at least to that white flag to race this one out to the very end, as it's time to buckle up, strap on those drinking helmets, and throw inhibition out the window. Green, white, checker racing here from the VRL at Indianapolis. Side by side goes the 7 and the 33 down the front stretch. Teammates helping teammates. Opponents helping opponents here, as the 88 was trying to help the 7. The 33 was getting a little help there as well from the 89. The 7 able to get out in front of the 33 as they make their way down and around turns 1 and 2, down to the back straightaway. The 7 just holding it up against that outside wall, saying, hey, if you're going to draft up to me, try to pass me. As the 88 trying to chase them down here, as well as a big shuffle and bustle continues out throughout the field. You got the 83 of Jason Gaines going side by side right now with the 92 of Greg Klein and the 75 of Stoney Benfield. Down through turns 3 and 4 they go, as Pope will lead the way off of turn number 4 and down the long front straightaway, taking the white flag, as here they come, will race it on out, finishing this one under racing conditions. Pope with that solid lead, out by about half a second over the 33 of Jess Vaught and Mike Adamson. Big crash by the 92 of Greg Klein, and a few others getting involved in it, but again, we are racing this one all the way till the finish. As Pope continues to hang on, here comes the 88 of Adamson looking to make one final dive on down on the 33 as they make their way down through turns 3 and 4. Just another couple set of slight turns and a straightaway left for the 7 of Timothy Pope as they make their way out of turn number 4, and it won't be close. It will be the 7 of Timothy Pope picking up the race win here from Indianapolis. The 33 of Jess Vaught able to hang on for second, with the 88 of Mike Adamson here in third.
Larry Dickerson and Dylan Bryant round out your top 5, and I know they were looking for more, but securing a top 5, not an easy thing to do in this league with as many great competitive drivers as we have here. What a great last couple of laps, guys. We saw some wrecking, and we saw some awesome passing being done.
As we take a look back here, it happened, it looks like before the 92 of Greg Klein got up there to it. Trying to see what happened. As happened just up in front of that 92 of Greg Klein. Somebody went for a wicked wild ride. Oh, and that's the 6 of Trevor Robertson to cause a little bit of mayhem out there. Let's go ahead and see what happened. Again, this happened after the white flag wave, so there was no caution. 89 and the 6 getting, they just got tangled up, and the 6 came across the 89's bumper. 92 nowhere to go as bits and pieces spilled out down that little short chute. Oh man, and even some more contact there a little bit late, but yeah, man, that's the kind of the incident that kind of closed things on out, as the 7 of Timothy Pope drinking the milk here tonight, celebrating across that 1 yard of bricks.
Pretty awesome race here tonight at the Brickyard.
Yeah, it looked like I think that was the 77 that hit Trevor Robertson. I couldn't really avoid him. The speed difference was just too great.
Yeah, it was a fun race. Some cool stuff. They're congratulating each other out there. Spotlight driver tonight is the faster pastor, Stoney Benfield.
Oh, awesome.
That's your spotlight.
Good deal. Be good to talk to him. And 26 trucks on the lead lap finishing here tonight. Greg Klein being the last of those. He was involved in that incident right there at the end.
He's always involved in something.
he's always up to something too.
He's in the middle of something.
And it is as we wait for some of the drivers to join us up here in the waiting room to get these interviews up and underway. Now, it was a long race, so I'm sure there's some quick little bathroom runs being had.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a long race, not just for us here in the booth, but the guys out there on the track, especially us older guys. You know, it's just one of those things that the older you get, the more trips you're going to have to make. That's just
No,
yeah, it's in the
we're
bathroom.
fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're in
no.
denial. You're in denial there, buddy.
No, we're fine. I'm like a young man.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I mean, just put a mask on me. I could be the president. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well,
Brown.
either way, let's go ahead and get some of these driver interviews up and underway. Starting us off is your spotlight driver of the evening, the faster pastor, 75 of Stony Bentfield, picking up a top 10 ninth place finish here tonight. Stony, congratulations here, bud. That was a fantastic run for you here tonight. I know you lost some positions there kind of towards the beginning, and a whole bunch of green flag laps separated us from the beginning to the end, but you clawed your way and was able to find yourself back inside that top 10.
Yeah, Alan, it was a good run for us, and I did fall back a little bit on the beginning. It's just too early to race those guys. I didn't want to cause a wreck or get caught up in a wreck, and so we just backed off a little bit. I knew I'd be better on the long run, could catch them back.
Well, Stoney, welcome to Vigilante Racing League, and we look forward to watching you run out there. And we talked a little bit to Barbara about your profession and how you can reach more people and fellowship with more people, racing in the several leagues that you're racing in, and talk a little bit about that, and talk about how do you say your hometown's name, because it totally threw me for a loop. I'm from Louisiana, so I can barely read anyway.
Alan, it is Albemarle, North Carolina.
Albemarle, okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm a pastor of Prospect Baptist Church. I met Jesus Christ in 93, and then in 97 was called to ministry. And if I live to next May, I'll be here 20 years. But, this is just one way that, honestly, I've never had a hobby before as a pastor until I did this, and I've loved racing my whole life, to be honest with you, and from back in the 80s and 90s. And so I got on iRacing, and the people that follow me on your broadcast are people from our church, and we just want to use everything we can to be a witness for Jesus Christ, and because he's the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody comes to the Father except through him. So they call me the faster pastor, and definitely Jesus took the wheel tonight. And I should have finished a little bit better. We can talk about that if you want to, but you probably don't have time. But anyway,
top 10, that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I ran my steering up too high at the beginning, and I'm used to a little longer runs than 20 laps. And had I moved it down one notch, I think I probably could have got 3 or 4 more positions up. But anyway, it's a fantastic night. It's good.
Yeah, it was great. Great night. Great talking to you. Great to hear your story. We all have a story, and mine is as Jesus Christ is in that story as well. And I appreciate you being here and sharing that. And who'd you like to give some shout-outs to?
Well, Adam, first and foremost, of course, as we talk, the Lord Jesus Christ, and then he's the first, the foremost. But then I've got several sponsors on my truck, NorthCarolina811.org. They're so generous to sponsor me, and they help me keep my equipment updated and that kind of thing. Outlier Speed Company, I run a few open leagues and run the open officials, and they're my setup sponsor, and Cody and those guys and Johnny and Robert and all those guys over there are just so gracious, and so I want to give a shout out to them. And then the people that follow me on your broadcast on YouTube. I don't know, we've probably got 15 people from our church that follows, most of the races. Everybody can't be there all the time, of course, but anyway, I'm just I'm looking to win in this league soon. So I appreciate the interview tonight.
Awesome, man. Well, big congratulations for the top 10 and the spotlight driver here tonight for the 75 of Mr. Stoney Penfield, man. Congratulations. Good luck coming up here with the rest of the season, and hopefully we get to talk to you again soon, buddy.
Thank you so much. And if anybody wants to join us, prospectbaptist.com, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. You can hear the word preached. Thank you.
And there you have it. So we move on up to our podium finishers here tonight. We get to talk to our third place finisher with the 88 of the Silent Assassin, Mr. Mike Adamson, picking up that third place spot, up 11 spots on the day. Mike, congratulations, buddy. That was a very well raced race for you here tonight. Just kept it smooth, kept it calm, and then of course everything starts to hit the fan towards the end, and you really had to throw some elbows out there.
Man, I'll tell you what, for starters, I felt like I won that thing. I have not been on a podium in a while, and man, I feel I'm speechless. Believe that one.
Well, I know you're stoked because you passed a lot of trucks to finish here in third here tonight, and we were talking about it before the second to last restart there. Like, all right, who are our aggressive guys up here that are going to make some stuff happen? And we looked at you, we looked at Larry Dickerson, finished up right up there with you, and we said, well, these guys, they're going to make some moves and make something happen. And yeah, not quite the win that you wanted here tonight, but yeah, great job picking up the third. Talk a little bit about the last couple of restarts there and the challenges you had, and talk a little bit about Richmond that you guys got coming up next week.
Yeah, toward the end there, the pitch strategy was kind of crazy there at the end, and
It was.
I tried to come in not as early, but as quick as I could to try to make some time up on the track that way. And then while we were under that last caution, I was clutching the whole way around because I was really close on fuel. But no, it was very, very fun, just picking my way through the field, just being patient. And Richmond, hopefully this will be a momentum swing for me to catapult myself up the ladder in points.
Well, you started here, and you can finish it there, getting some more points. Good job tonight. Who'd you like to give some shout-outs to, man?
First and foremost, as always, I thank my wife because without her, I don't do what I do. She supports me, puts up with it, and thank all my kids, Dale, Taylor, Riley, Lane. Thank all the guys back at the shop that watch me every week. They support me. Shane, my manager, all the guys I work with, they support me 100%. We got a third. We'll get them next week at Richmond.
Awesome, man. Well, congratulations on the podium finish here tonight for the 88 of Mike Adamson, man. Congratulations, and good luck coming up here as we continue out throughout the season here, buddy.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
And with that, we'll move up the podium and talk to tonight's second place finisher, driver of the 33 machine, Mr. Jess Vaught. Congratulations, sir. A second place finish. That was very hard fought, fighting your way through traffic in that first half of the race and then trying to drag race against the almighty 7 of Timothy Pope here towards the end. I know Indianapolis not the easiest place to try to get around somebody, but just kind of talk about there kind of towards the end, knowing with those last couple of cautions that it was going to be even tougher to try to get a pass.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of put myself behind the 8 ball a little bit. I think I qualified 5th or 6th, and you're right. Here at this track, if you're going to compete with, especially you got Tim on the point starting off the race, you better be up there either right with him or right in front of him to be competitive. So he was really just taking off and doing what he does, and I was able to get up to 2nd, just try to just hang with him, which I was hanging pretty steady. You still end up pulling like a 4-second lead at one point, and try to do a little undercut at the end, give myself a chance, do something different. Didn't think it was going to work out, but I had a chance. There was a few laps to go, and then as you mentioned, we had a couple of cautions there at the end, which didn't help much. I mean, doing a restart with him on 3-lap fresher tires and Tim Pope, it's probably just a no-go. Felt like I was fortunate to come out of those restarts and still get a 2nd place tonight.
Well, you really made it interesting. You stayed right there with him. You were half a second back there at the end, but Yeah, Tim Pope out there doing Tim Pope things is a challenge for everybody. But what a great night for VRL as a whole. You know, congrats on your second place. Great night for you, but great night for the league as well. After Monday's kind of shaky practice race, I guess it was in a lot of folks' mind that, oh man, tonight's going to be it's going to be rough on everybody out there. But what a great race! Me and Adam were talking about being so pleasantly surprised that we saw a lot of great racing out there, not just strategy, but racing out there on the track. You know, a lot of fun stuff happening out there. Some passing, some guys getting crowded, some guys trading paint, especially Uncle Dave and Kyle out there running amok. But just a really great race to have here at the Brickyard. You know, we talked before about, you know, how NASCAR Cup Series kind of went away from this track for a while, but you know, the racing y'all put on here tonight was outstanding.
Yeah, I really like this track. I won a championship at this track. I think season 7. I like it. I can get around it. Not as good as Tim in the trucks, but yeah, it was a good night. Monday wasn't good. Monday had some issues. We've been trying to kind of clarify and strengthen some of the rules and everything, just to make sure everybody's, you know, minding their P's and Q's and everything. But tonight went great. I loved it. Yeah, and even real life NASCAR, you know, they've been kind of turning that into WWE NASCAR, in my opinion. Unlimited restarts for the end of the race and things like that, where I just like a pure racing event, and that's what tonight felt like. It felt like old school racing. You're fast, you have a little bit of strategy going in and out of the pits, but overall it just comes down to you and how well you get around the turns.
Yeah, great night for y'all. Great night for you. Who'd you like to give some shout outs to? I know, I guess your son's back from
Brandon's back
from overseas. So if you want to talk about that and give some shout outs.
Yeah, shout out to my son, Brandon. He just walked in literally right before the race started. So he's back from overseas in the Navy. So he's here for a little while to enjoy the U.S. and watching us race. So I'm happy to have him back. And then shout out to Lori as always. I'm sure she's super excited Brandon's back. She got a little misty when he walked in. So we'll see what happens after this interview. But Kyle and Taylor up in Chicago. Sarah, my daughter Sarah, and my team Vigilante Force. And I want to say congratulations to Tim Pope, Mike Adamson for their podium finishes, and thank you to Triple A for the broadcast and highlighting this league.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations to the second place finisher here tonight, the 33 of Mr. Jazz Vaught, man. Congratulations. Ride this momentum, and good luck with the upcoming races here, buddy.
You bet, guys. Take care.
And with that, we take one final step up the podium and talk as names get, everything gets moved around as we talk to tonight's race winner, the number 7 machine of Timothy Pope, picking up that race win here tonight. Tim doing Tim things, being the GOAT as always here in the VRL. Congratulations, Mr. Pope, on this race win. It was a very hard fought and a little strategized win out here tonight, as some late cautions and some late pit stops kind of changed things up on you.
Yeah, it did. I was able to get a good run on Jess there one time and got back around.
Yeah, you ended up, I think, 2 or 3 lap fresher tires than Jess and Mike and a couple other guys that were running around you up there towards the front. You know, talk a little bit about, you know, does that really make that much of a difference having 3 lap newer tires? And then talk a little bit about Richmond. You guys going to Richmond next week? That's gonna be a blast. That's a track I never was any good at, but I know y'all are gonna put on a good show there.
Yeah, the tires. Yeah, I think that helped a little bit. Was able to get it to rotate a little bit more than he was. Get it pulled down and get a good run up on the turn there. Able to get around them. Richmond, I don't really care for that place much.
I'm with you on that. I second that opinion. I could never stand getting around that D-shaped track. It just confused me.
Yeah, it's really tricky up off them turns.
Well, this one was kind of tricky too, but you managed to win here. So congrats. Who'd you like to give some shout outs to?
everyone on this team as always. Jess and Lori putting on an excellent lead. You guys doing some good broadcasting. D&D Graphics for all the paintwork.
Awesome, man. Well, again, big congratulations to tonight's race winner, the 7 of Mr. Timothy Pope here from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, man. Congratulations. Enjoy the upcoming Olympics break, and we look forward to seeing what you can do the rest of the season here, buddy.
All righty, thank you.
I forgot about the Olympics.
Yeah, taking a couple of weeks. It'll be interesting to see what the VRL comes up with. I got a feeling they'll have something in store. I know I shot some ideas that I had to Lori, and she did kind of like them. So we'll see what happens. But
figure 8 races.
maybe some long jump at the old Lime Rock. But we'll have to.
Oh yeah.
We will have to find out as we close things up here from Indianapolis. A very exciting race, something that we don't typically see here, but it was a little bit more exciting than what I think we expected coming on into it.
Yeah, it was awesome. You don't usually see racing like this at Indianapolis on your TV screen, but put the VRL out there on the track and you're going to have a good time. And these guys didn't disappoint. 26 trucks finished on the lead lap here tonight. And, guys just beating and banging out there. We saw a lot of trade and paint. We saw a little bit of drama out there, a couple of wrecks. But it wasn't a caution fest out there tonight, like the difficulties they were having Monday during the practice race. But that's why they do the practice races. They work the kinks out and try to get everybody lined up to put on a great show on Wednesday night, and it paid off.
No, it paid off in a big way. A great race, great showing tonight, and I guess we'll just see what happens next time.
Man, that we will as we kind of close things on down here tonight. We will tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here for the evening with the 7 picking up the race win, Mr. Timothy Pope, 33 of Jess Vaught. And of course, again, welcome home there, Brandon, as he celebrates a second place finish. 88 of Mike Adamson to round out that podium here tonight. 69 of Larry Dickerson with a solid finish here tonight as well, up inside that top 5. The 8 of Dylan Bryant having a great run as well to close out that top 5. Craig Goodenough had a great night here as well, was roaming around that top 3 quite a bit, finishing here tonight in 6th, up 21 spots. America's driver Albert Anderson taking home the 7th place position, but he is not the hard charger of the day. Someone else stole 1 extra position here later on in this list. The 83 of Jason Gaines as well had a fantastic night, finishing up there in 8th. 9th goes to the faster pastor, your spotlight driver, Mr. Stoney Benfield, in the 75, with the 3 of Austin Paul rounding out your fields, finishing top 10.
Dustin Wade in the 68 finishes in 11th, up 6 spots. Joe Canellis in the 11, down a couple spots, but still picking up a great finish there in 12th. 13th place, John Curtis in the 43, up a whole bunch of spots. John Osborne, Chachi, started in 2nd place and ends up in 14th. Still a pretty strong finish there. Ricky Wittenberg, is Ricky your hard charger here?
Yes.
Oh man, he was up a bunch. He started way back in the back. He was one of the 3 or 4 drivers that got EOLs, but picked up 15th. Great job by the double nickel machine there. Ricky Wittenberg take 15th there. 16th, David Fight in the 1. The 74, Zachary Hallinan, started outside row number 2, and we saw him up front quite a bit early. He'll take home 17th place points here tonight. 18th place will be Kevin Hunt in the 434. 23, Sean McDonald, one of your guys that started in the back there. He'll finish in 19th place. Rounded out your top 20, Chandler Paul, Chan the Man, in the 72.
023, Scott Roney, 21st, 22nd. The 56 of Benjamin Richards. 16, Kyle Vaught, 23rd place. Number 4, Deion Jones, ends up 24th. 29, Dave Mayberry ended up 25th, so he lost tonight to Kyle, so he's behind Kyle. 92, Greg Klein, the Tulsa King, 26. 27, Trevor Robertson in the 6th. 10, Andrew Cawthon, 28. 29, George Rincona in that 28 machine. 42, Darby Marioth. 30th, 31st, Dustin with the Y, Dustin Eaton. 14 truck. Number 2, Russ Kilgore, 32nd. 77, Jacob Young, 33rd. Greg Dobson in 085, 34th. 123, John Gallagher, 35th. 82, Mike Everidge, 36th. 37th. The President, 47, John McAdam, 37th spot there. And then Jack Dixon had some issues in that 19 truck. He ends up in the final spot, 38th. And there's Lori Vaught. Thank you, Lori, for race control.
And that is your field here tonight from Indianapolis. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, and glad to see some newcomers come into the chat here as well. As always, if you haven't done so already, be sure to hit that subscribe button, ring the notification bell so you get alerted every single time that we go live. And if you do enjoy any of the racing action, don't get poked and prodded into hitting that like button like a couple of guys did here this evening. Go ahead and smack that like button so we can continue to grow this fantastic racing community. Also have to say a huge thank you to the proud sponsors of the VRL, such as GC Cruise Travel, Blue Fox Properties with Mr. Dave Mayberry, as well as DND Race Graphics, and Southbound Real Estate with Mr. Ricky Wittenberg. Thank you all for your continued support, so that way the VRL can put on the amazing show that it does week in and week out. Big time thank you. And so with that, we do close things out here for tonight. Don't you worry though, we're right back into action with some championship racing on Sunday as the Super Speedway Series for the Numb Thumbs Racing League finishes up over there at Talladega. 70 laps to claim a champion. Here it's going to be a fantastic fight to the finish, and we look forward to seeing what comes up for the rest of the schedule as well. So with that, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We'll see you on the next one.
We gone.
See ya.